Hey everybody, we're here at Kaw Point Park today. There's Will. Sorry, the sun makes it a little hard to see the screen, but we're doing the best we can. This is right where the Kansas and Missouri rivers meet on the Kansas side.
Yep. So we're right here.
Yeah. And fun little fact, my mom was actually on the board that helped put this park here. So this is kind of a part of my family history too. So we'll show you around a little bit. Here's a little cool piece of this park. And they're trying to get some of the natural and historic brush growth back here. They've actually been planting it in and letting it grow just so you could know what was here before all the settlement came in. Now this plaza is pretty interesting because all these little markers here represent the registered native tribes that are in the area and beyond, and they usually come here every once in a while to all have a big group meeting. A lot of them are the ones that are either local or had reservations here locally, because a lot of this was reservation land for a long time. Keep going. These panels from that kind of central gazebo that you could see earlier show why this is called the Lewis and Clark Park. It's because this is where they stopped on their way up and out west. Actually, famous story here is they actually had to perform a court-martial on some of their men that had snuck into the liquor. So we're kind of famous for having one of the first court-martials in the area too. Now here's another little history lesson from Joe the history nerd. These railings were actually taken from one of the original bridges that crossed the river, and actually a lot of it was found dumped down here before they switched this all over into a park. And I bet you all can hear, those are the famous Midwest cicadas for the summer. They're actually a little louder than they would normally be, because this is a double batch year. If you didn't know, cicadas actually hibernate for some of them like 15 years at a time, and some of them are 7 years. And this just happens to be a year where it coincides that two of those different batches come out of hibernation at once. So it's really a lot louder than it normally is. Here's the river over here. This is the Missouri. You can tell because it's really wide and fairly brown. This area here is somewhat historic. You can see some of the old moorings down there. Up until a few years ago, they still had the old dock here. During World War II, actually here just locally is where they produced a lot of the amphibious boats that were made for D-Day and docking. And they would actually launch them from here and send them all the way down the Missouri to the Mississippi, out to the Gulf of Mexico, to go over to Europe for war. And kind of dark but sad, it's not there anymore, but just about center of frame used to be Kansas City Cold Storage. And that, unfortunately, is where they shipped most of the bodies back after World War II, so they could be preserved and identified. Here's a bit of inactive track here. You can see it's blocked off, so we're not in danger. Tends to be lots of interesting graffiti and stuff down here. And, you know, during the day, it's actually just pretty nice for if you want like a graffiti photo op. This path is kind of fun because you get a nice little tunnel effect with the trees. and you kind of feel like you're in the middle of a dense woods, even though you're just inside the city, really. Here we are, actually right down at the water. There was a decent path today.